How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the Weeb Lounge. This is the Weeb Mine, and not all that much has changed. We have more video cards coming. We have a Raspberry Pi finally up and running with the blockchain getting installed on it, and we're actually doing pretty good on Ergo and Firo. Now, one thing that I don't think a lot of people realize is that Ethereum is not the end-all be-all. I mean, for a while there it is. It's the most profitable, and it still is for the most part. But Ergo, Firo, even Flux, which is what this guy's going to be when those cards come in. This is going to be our Flux miner. We're starting to diverse a little bit because, you know, we can't rely on Ethereum for the long term. Like, pretty much everything in here is just kind of doing nice hash, right? Real easy stuff, just doing whatever. These three rigs here are kind of like my future prep rigs. These are all 3080 Ti's, 3080 Ti's, 3080 Ti's, 3080 Ti's. And somebody out there is probably going to start crying when I say this. Two of the 3080 Ti's I'm getting are Asus ROG 3080 Ti's, right? Really, really good cards. The third one is a MSI Supreme X 3080 Ti, which is quite literally the best, fastest, most uber video card you can get on the market right now. It is hands down the best. So much so that my water-cooled 3090 that I have in the gaming rig, I so want to swap it out. I really do. Even though it's only 12 gigabytes of video memory compared to the 34 I have in the gaming rig, the overall speed is still better. The only thing keeping me from doing that is the fact that I spent all that money on the water cooling and I don't want that to go to waste. Now, of course, I could take that 3090, bring it over here and put it somewhere, but where am I going to put a single 3090 water cooled? I mean, that thing is full. It's not going in there. We cannot do this. So I'm pretty much leaving things as is. But you might be asking, why did I get the Supreme? Well, I found a deal on one that was only like 50 bucks more than just like, you know, 3080 Ti or whatever that I was going to get. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to spend the money to have it just to say that I have one of the damn things, right? And I gotta do what I gotta do. Now, more and more people are starting to realize that Ethereum is going to be coming to an end soon, which is kind of why you're seeing the spike in prices on the 3080 Ti's. Because remember, 3080 Ti's, when you're trying to mine, you know, basically Dagger Hashimoto, that algorithm for Ethereum, it's really the only one that's limited on the LHR cards. If you're trying to do Ergo or Firo or Flux or any number of other cards that don't use that algorithm, they're not limited. It's full power. And that's where we're going to end up going. So you're going to start seeing the run on the 3080 Ti's or any LHR card in general. Oh man, so my goal basically is to get 3 more of those, which are all coming on the way. Hopefully, maybe I'll have 2 of them set up for next week. The MSI Supreme is actually coming from overseas, so that may or may not be here, depending how they ship it. Hopefully EMS. I like that shipping method for international. But yeah, that's basically what we're going to do. And you know, I'm not one to give financial advice, so don't take it that way. But we need to. If you're not doing anything other than Ethereum, it's time to do something other than Ethereum. I got these 3 guys going for a start. These guys are going to be trying to get ahead of the game on those 3 coins, and those are the 3 that I'm betting on: Flux, Firo, Ergo. That's pretty much the 3 that I'm betting on. So that's why these 3 are set up. Regardless of profit, they're mining to get those coins, because it's kind of like a long-term bet on my part. But once I also get enough funds set up to where I can actually afford to turn off maybe a couple of these rigs, I might take some of these guys that are basically doing nice hash / Ethereum and putting them elsewhere. Where? I'm not sure yet. But I don't know, you know, because like a lot of people talk trash about nice hash, and there's other people that are like proponents of it. Well, here's the thing. If I was mining Ethereum direct on these, I could have made a little bit more money, potentially. The thing with nice hash is it keeps switching algorithms based off profitability. So if you think about it, kinda, sorta, you might end up making the same amount, maybe even a little bit more, if it's constantly switching algorithms trying to keep those profit levels up. It makes it so that it's hands-off, more or less. But I digress. I also want to try changing the operating systems of these because right now they're all on Windows, right? But there's operating systems like Hive OS that can be a little bit more efficient, a little bit more stable. And eventually I'll get to those, but only once we get, you know, the proper foothold set here. It's kind of hard to define what my proper foothold is because I don't know what it is. Basically, when I got a crap ton of coins and I can do whatever I want, that's the foothold, okay? That's about as good as I can define it. All right. But that's the goal for these guys. The Bitcoin node over here is still updating. It's been about 24 hours since my buddy Scott came over here and got this thing programmed, because I can't program this for crap. But he's got it updating pretty much as good as it can go. And let's see, it's January 2018 is where it's at. It has to download basically every single transaction ever made on Bitcoin. So yeah, that could be a bit of an issue, but whatever. It'll get there. But this is the Raspberry Pi. I love this stupid little thing. Look at that. I was able to program the little screen on the front. I mean, you can't really see it there. I have to turn the camera or whatever, but you know, it gives like the internal IP, the CPU load, how much memory's been using, how much disk space is left. But like in this guy, like on the very bottom, you see this little link guy here. There's a little itty bitty thing right here. Underneath it has an SSD installed. And that SSD is a 1 terabyte, which you kind of need. And my screen went blank. There's an easy way to fix that. Boop. And then you come back, and there you go. So I like Raspberry Pis. They're so simple and easy to like get going and everything. But once it gets going, it's like, it's the old school command line stuff. And I really haven't used that since DOS 5.0. Yes, I've gamed and played with DOS 5.0. I'm old, I know this. But I haven't done it since then, and so I don't remember hardly any commands, even though a lot of it's pretty much similar. So I'll get used to it again as I experiment. But that is going to be our Bitcoin lottery machine. Once this gets updated and a couple other things that I need help out with, essentially it's going to be a Bitcoin node that I'm also going to try to mine from. The little ant miner down there is going to be doing mining, and it's just a Bitcoin lottery machine. That's all it is. Maybe on the off chance, super luck or something, I'll find my own block and that'll be all great. But you know, chances are that'll never happen. But here's how I think of it, right? To run that ant miner is going to cost me probably about $4 a day in electricity. I think I got it overclocked. It's probably soaking up about 1400 watts, 1450, somewhere right in there. And the way I kind of think of it is, you know, it's like going to the gas station and get a little scratchy ticket, you know, once a day for $5 or something like that, right? That's kind of how I think of it. You know, maybe one day you scratch one off and it's like, ooh, I got really lucky and I won something good, you know? That's how I think of it. And it is kind of no harm, no foul, as long as all this other stuff is making up for it. Because, you know, with mining and everything, it's always about nickel and diming, usually me to death, but it is what it is. The last little thing I did, I finally got this guy going. Okay, we've all seen like HDMI switches, right? You can switch between multiple different video signals and have it all go toward a single monitor. They also have the same stuff for USBs. It's how I have the setup over there. There's a video one and a USB, basically a KVM switch, and I can use one mouse, one keyboard, one monitor for all the rigs and control it from like a single point. That's kind of the same thing I did here, only it's DVI. This is a DVI, like a DVI-D or whatever format it is. The big plug, the one that should never be used again, but you know, whatever. These are older motherboards, kinda, and they have the DVI, so I needed a switch for that. This is a 4-port, still got one open. But the cool thing is, it's also a built-in USB KVM switch. It's all in one. So if I, you know, click this button, I think, oh, I got that on HDMI. Never mind, bad example, but whatever. I'll put it back over here so that it doesn't do anything. But basically, these 3 rigs here, it'll switch between that. It'll put it on here, but I have to switch this with a stupid little remote over to DVI. Let's see if I can actually do this. See, look at the input. Input, DVI, select that, see if it actually goes. Did I wake it up? Yep, there it is, see? It's cool. I mean, it's a stupid little thing, but, you know, let's go back to HDMI here. And we're right back to the Pi. It's so convenient. I mean, I could have all this stuff hooked up and just swap plugs or whatever, but oh man, this thing is so worth it. You plug it in, everything's all in one. The HDMI goes there. If I have to switch between that, it makes life easy. And you know what else is easy? Like, sharing, subscribing, and not acknowledging that really horrible transition. Whatever. All right, so eventually we're going to get this together. We're going to start mining flux on that guy. And depending how all the other things go, maybe we'll take a rig or two out of this and point it towards something else. I'm kind of, you know, Flux, Firo, and Ergo, those are the three that I'm kind of betting on to take the crown after Ethereum goes proof of stake. It's a guess on my part, you know, just trying to look at the numbers and everything and hope that one of those three are king. But that might not necessarily be true, and I might take one of the smaller rigs, one of the 4 rigs, and start pointing these at something else. Don't know. But the other thing is, you know, I was talking about power and stuff, right? You know, I need to get another line in here. I need another 100 amps. I need to do this, that, the other, so I can expand. Can't do it. I have learned that basically with these 2 fans on medium, I'm doing good for thermals, right? If I pop them up on high, does it just a tad bit better. But that's pretty much where I'm at. Once I put these 3 in and run these 2 fans on high, that's my thermal limit. And I thought I had a lot more leeway there, but that's pretty much it. So even if I did add more power to all of this so that I could add more and more and more cards, I'm not going to be able to get rid of the heat, which means this whole room will start overheating, the cards will overheat, and bad. So unfortunately, once these 3 cards are in, that's pretty much it. Now, yes, I can grab like another card and throw it over there, or another card and throw it over here or something. Or ditch the ASIC, put that upstairs or somewhere, and put like another, you know, a couple more cards in random spots. That would be perfectly fine, but I really have to be careful from this point. Try to lower, lower my power usage, keep things nice and cool. That's kind of the goal. And I'm a little worried for summer. When summer comes around, I know I have to exchange the heat, and I know I'm probably going to have to run the air conditioner, or at least the fan on, right, for better circulation. Cool thing is if I turn this on just to circulate air instead of AC or anything, just the fan, which doesn't use all that much electricity, it actually really helps the room. So that might actually be a problem solver. But come summer, when things are starting to get really hot, I know I'm going to have to turn this guy on. So, you know, my electricity costs are going to spike in the summer. Oh man, but you know, with that said, here's kind of like a long-term plan. This is a straight up guess what I'm doing. We're going to be having that mining flux. We're going to have all this stuff going. Probably end up adding another card or 2 at random somewhere in there, just to see what happens. But I have a feeling what I'm going to end up doing is, you know, come next June, July, whenever it is that Ethereum goes to proof of stake, probably somewhere in there, maybe they'll delay it, who knows. But somewhere in there is when I want to plan to try to move these rigs to a different property, if I can save up the financials before then. It's a bit of a stretch, but who knows? You know, maybe some of these altcoins that I have, maybe somebody will dump like 10 million into anime token, and it'll be like, oh well, now I'm a multimillionaire. Great, you know, buy anime token. No financial advice. I didn't stop it. But I did buy a lot of anime token because this is the Weeb Lounge, and when I saw anime token, it's like it's the Weeb Lounge, it's the Weeb Mine, it's anime stuff all the time. It got stuff in there. I have to own anime token. I don't have a choice in the matter, so I bought a whole bunch of anime token, and I'm just kind of hoping, and that's pretty much all I got with it. But anyways, guys, thanks for sticking around. I got a little long-winded there, but we'll see you in the next video.